This is a story about water. Water and the absence of water. They say everything comes from the sea, and everything returns to the sea. Maybe there's something sacred about those waves, the sound they make. Water builds and builds and builds, and then it just starts to crest over. There's just nothing like it. Those surfers out there waiting and waiting for something to happen. In the Gulf of Mexico, the waves aren't all that big, and not particularly frequent either. Sometimes when it rains in Texas, it's just like the sky opens up and a wall of water falls straight down to the earth. I don't know where all that water goes. Must go somewhere. They started building concrete reservoirs and drainage ditches all over this state. In Texas, when it rains, there are flash floods because the ground is so parched. Those ditches get so full of water so fast. Thousands of concrete drainage ditches in Texas. They're everywhere. The curved walls bring the water back where it came from, back to the streams and lakes, or even into the Gulf. Or maybe the water just evaporates. I've lived in Texas my whole life. Most of the drainage ditches I've seen in Texas are dry year-round. You can see that they're different sizes and shapes, but the one thing they have in common is that they all go downhill. Years ago, back in the early 70s, skateboarders in Texas and elsewhere independently started realizing that some of these drainage ditches are shaped like waves. Except these are permanent waves, made out of concrete. You don't have to wait and wait for the waves to be just right. They're always just right. You can just go out there and surf for hours and hours, like make-believe surfing. That's probably what started everything. Something else about water. In Texas, there's thousands and thousands of swimming pools because it's just so hot. Lots of these pools are empty because of all the droughts. Some are just abandoned because of all the poverty. Big curved walls that drop down 10 feet or more. These empty pools are way more extreme than any Gulf of Mexico wave. Then someone got the big idea to make their own waves out of concrete. That was back in 1976, out in Corpus Christi. They called it Holly Hill Skate Park. It was one of the first skate parks in America, which is the same thing as saying that it was one of the first skate parks in the whole world. And all over Texas, there were skate parks being built by people who wanted to make a profit.
It was the internet bubble of the late 70s. Skate parks, get rich now.
Soon they learned that in Texas, skateboarding has never been about money. Then the reality set in, and the skate parks came and went. And then there were none. And skateboarding went back underground where it started, back into the ditches and the pools and the pipes.